Why are you doing this to us? She sobbed as I packed my bags. It was just a few white lies to protect a friend. I just smirked and tossed the Amsterdam hotel receipt on the bed. Funny, I said calmly. His wife called it something else. Now, about the kids. The shock on her face was priceless. My girlfriend and I have been a rock for 13 years. We have 2 amazing young kids. A house. The whole deal. Our whole relationship has been built on this bedrock of trust and freedom. I don't believe in caging someone you love. So I've always had my hobbies. Backgammon club. Golf. Grabbing a beer with my friends. And she's had hers. It just works. So back in January, when she got a new hobby and bought her own motorcycle, I was genuinely stoked for her. I've been riding for years, and the thought of her getting into it was awesome. The reality, of course, is that with 2 young kids, we can't just take off together whenever we want. So, she started making TikTok videos of her rides and connecting with other local riders. I thought it was cool. She's a beautiful, smart woman, but she's always been fiercely loyal. So the idea of her making new friends, guys or girls, never even registered as a threat. Honestly, the thought of being a controlling, jealous partner sounds exhausting. She met a few people, went on a couple of group rides. Then, in February, she mentioned a guy she'd started riding with sometimes. Let's call him Peter. Seemed like a decent enough dude from what she said. Fast forward to one night in March. I had plans to meet a buddy for a drink. I was dragging my feet, getting out of the house. Just feeling lazy. So I left later than I'd planned. As I'm pulling out of the driveway, I see another bike pull up. It's Peter. He was showing up unannounced. I waved. Didn't think much of it. And left. A few days later, I was reviewing our doorbell camera footage. I think I was checking on a package delivery. And I saw the clip of him leaving later that night. Around 11 p.m. What caught my attention was him looking directly at the doorbell camera and asking her something like, "What is he going to think?" Her reply was quick. "It doesn't matter. If he has any questions, he should ask." My brain just kind of stalled on that. Why would my reaction even be a topic of conversation? It felt preemptive. Like they knew the optics weren't great. I did ask her about it. Calmly. She said they just chatted outside on the porch and that was it. She admitted she thought I would have been long gone by the time he left. He was just riding in the neighborhood and stopped by. I wanted to believe her. So I let it go. Case closed. A few weeks later, she told me she was heading out for a night ride. No mention of meeting up with anyone. She got home pretty late, and I was just lounging on the couch. I asked how the ride was. Nothing behind it. Just making conversation. It was great. A lot of fun. She said. Cool. I waited a beat. See anyone along the way? There was a slight hesitation. Yeah. She said. Peter texted me when I was on the road. And we ended up riding together for a couple of hours. It hit me right then. It wasn't the fact that she rode with him. It was that I had to drag it out of her. My thought process was simple. If it's no big deal, why not just say, "I'm meeting Peter for a ride," or come home and say, "Ran into Peter." We rode for a bit. This felt like I was being deliberately kept out of the loop. I told her. Straight up. Look. I'd prefer you just tell me these things from the start. The way you told me makes me feel like there's something to hide. She agreed. Said she understood. And again, I told myself it was nothing. Case closed. But it wasn't. Was it? These little things were starting to feel less like isolated incidents and more like a pattern. Am I just being paranoid here? Or were these the first real red flags? Things were quiet for a bit after that. Or maybe I was just choosing not to see them. Then in June, she tells me about this new guy, Frank. He's also a rider and had invited her to a MotoGP event for a weekend camping trip. They hadn't even met in person yet. My only input was practical. You should probably go for a ride with him first. I told her. Just to make sure he's not a total psycho before you go camping with a stranger. She agreed it was a good idea. They went for a ride. She said it was fun. And she decided to go to the event. I was genuinely happy for her. The day they were leaving. A Thursday. She's getting her gear together. And she casually drops it on me. Oh. By the way. Peter's coming too. It wasn't a question or a discussion. It was a statement delivered as she was walking out the door. My brain did a quick calculation. The unannounced visit. The secret night ride. Now Peter was becoming a recurring character in stories I was only getting half of. But what was I supposed to do? Forbid her from going. I just said, okay. Cool. You guys have fun. They all love bikes. It's a huge event. I told myself to stop looking for shadows. She told me Frank brought his own tent. And she and Peter were sharing a large, multi-room tent. Each sleeping on their own side. Okay. A little weird. But maybe it's just how the biker community is. I didn't want to be that guy. They were supposed to come home on Sunday. But I get a text Saturday night. They were leaving early. Around 10 p.m. Frank was staying behind since he drove separately. She didn't get home until 3:45 a.m. I was already in bed, but woke up when she came in. The drive is 3 hours. Max. I asked her what took so long. I got so tired on the drive. She said. We pulled over and took a nap in the car for a bit. My mind flagged it immediately. 6 hours for a 3-hour drive. A nap in the car. It felt thin. So incredibly thin. But I was half asleep. And confrontation in that moment felt pointless. I just rolled over. I let it slide. I chose the path of least resistance because I just didn't have the energy to process what it might mean if she was lying. Then came the confession. Last week. She comes to me with this serious look on her face. She tells me that at a city festival a couple of nights prior, she and Peter had kissed. Just one kiss. On the mouth. She explained. We were both drunk. It was stupid. And nothing more happened. I'm only telling you because I feel awful about it, and I needed to be transparent. She stressed that nobody saw it. So her telling me was purely for the sake of honesty. We talked. I was hurt. Obviously. But I appreciated her coming forward. She swore up and down there was nothing going on between them. Just two drunk friends who made a mistake. But as I sat with it over the next day, her words kept replaying in my head. Nobody saw it. It was such a strange detail to offer up. Why mention that? The more I thought about it, the less it felt like transparency. It felt like a carefully managed piece of information. It felt like she was giving me a small, containable truth to prevent me from looking for a bigger, messier one. She presented the kiss like it was the period at the end of a sentence. But for me, it felt like the start of a whole new chapter I was terrified to read. Is this what honesty is supposed to feel like? Like you're being strategically managed? That one phrase, nobody saw it, was like a splinter in my mind. It just wouldn't go away. The story she told about the kiss was framed as this brave act of transparency. But that detail made it feel tactical. My gut was screaming at me. That night, she was at the festival with her best friend, Chelsea, and Chelsea's new boyfriend, Mike. I couldn't let it rest. I had to know. So, the next day, I sent a simple text to Chelsea. I just asked her if she'd seen anything weird that night. Her reply came back almost instantly. My blood ran cold as I read it. Not only did she and Mike see the kiss, but she had confronted my girlfriend about it right after it happened. In that single moment, everything clicked into place with horrifying clarity. This wasn't transparency. This was damage control. She wasn't confessing to me out of guilt. She was getting ahead of the story before Mike had a chance to tell me himself. The entire foundation of that honest conversation was a lie. Just as I was trying to process that betrayal, my world tilted on its axis. We were getting ready to leave for our family holiday the next day when a message popped up on my Facebook from a name I didn't recognize. I opened it. It was from Peter's wife. My heart just dropped into my stomach as I read her words. She said she only found out about my girlfriend on July 19th. A full 6 months after they started riding together. Then came the knockout blow. She claimed that Peter and my girlfriend had spent the night together in a hotel in Amsterdam on May 25th. My mind raced. I grabbed my phone and checked my calendar. May 25th. She was in Amsterdam that night. She told me it was a work dinner for a colleague who was leaving. I went to her, my hands shaking. Were you with him in Amsterdam? She looked me dead in the eye and said no. It was just a coincidence. Please, I begged her. Just tell me the truth now. If you keep lying, you're going to destroy us. She held her ground. Nothing happened. They didn't see each other. I messaged the wife back. My fingers fumbling on the screen. I needed more. She sent me the address she had tracked his phone to. I googled it. It was the exact same hotel my girlfriend had stayed in for her work trip. I confronted her again. With the hotel name. The proof. Same story. Denial. 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 We left for our family vacation with our 2 kids. The tension in the car so thick you could choke on it. I kept asking. She kept denying. On the 2nd day of the trip, I just broke. We were in the hotel room. And I couldn't hold it in anymore. I started crying. Not out of anger. But out of pure, soul-crushing sadness. Why? I sobbed. Why won't you just put us first and be honest with me? Finally. She cracked. The truth came out. But it was just another version of a lie. Yes. He did stay with her in the hotel room in Amsterdam. But, she insisted, he slept on the couch. Nothing physical happened. The reason she couldn't tell me. He was in the process of leaving his wife. And she didn't want the wife to use their meeting as ammo in the divorce. The words hit me harder than a confession of cheating would have. She didn't lie to protect us. She lied to protect him. She put his divorce ahead of our family. Our 13 years. My sanity. Now she's furious with me. Furious that I called Chelsea. Furious that I exposed her lies. She's blocking me out completely. Giving me the silent treatment. I've given this woman all the freedom and trust a person can give. And I feel like she took it, abused it, and then set it on fire. I feel so shattered. So completely and utterly betrayed. What do I do now? I just want to curl up and cry. I've never been this sad in my entire life.